I found this place by using a realtor. I actually was on so many different websites, realtor sites. I was on Craigslist, and I actually found this particular realtor on Craigslist. And we all know that Craigslist is sometimes a touch and go, but this realtor was really, really helpful in helping me find the area that would best suit me. So we went to so many different parts of Brooklyn. I didn't even realize there were that many parts of Brooklyn. From the Park Slope area to this particular area, from Crown Heights, Bay Ridge. There were homes available in all those areas. And what I really did was I just went to each of those areas at night, early in the day, on holidays, on off days, early in the mornings, just to get a feel of what that neighborhood was like. The other thing that I did when deciding to purchase, I went to a lot of the seniors in the area just to ask them about the area, the blocks, how long have they been living there. And I found out of all the areas that I went to that Bed-Stuy had so much history and had so much culture. A lot of the seniors that I spoke to had been living here with their families for 35 plus years. So they had seen all the changes that the neighborhood had been through. And even myself, I had friends, I work in the entertainment industry, and I had friends who are now beginning to leave Manhattan.
So my name is Richard Flateau, and I've been in the real estate business for 17 years. The store that the business is in and the neighborhood that I actually live in is Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's a neighborhood that goes back probably, I think it was mainly developed between 1870 and 1910. So it's about 140 years old. And it has a very good transportation infrastructure. It's, I guess a good boundary to use would be the boundaries for Community Board 3. There are different community boards throughout the city. So Bedford-Stuyvesant would be pretty much contiguous with Community Board 3. And those boundaries would be Clawson Avenue on the west. On the north would be Flushing and Broadway. On the east would be Saratoga and Broadway. And on the south would be Atlantic Avenue. So those would be the boundaries for Bedford-Stuyvesant.
I chose to purchase this property because I felt like it was going to be a good investment for me. It was a great time. The prices at the time for homes were very reasonable, and it was a great time to do it. But it wasn't just about having a home. It was also about what can I do with this property as well. And it just made sense to rent apartments. It's a 3-family home. I could have easily have made it my own, one family, just gutted it out. But I felt like it would be a really wise decision to make apartments and rent it out. And it has been a really wise decision thus far.
The actual historic district of Stuyvesant Heights was created in 1971. I have a little map here. And that process goes through the New York City Landmarks Preservation Commission. And they do a lot of study. They look at the blocks. They look at the historical significance of buildings. They look at the architecture. So they determined in 1971 that an area would be called Stuyvesant Heights that met their criteria, and it's a very small area. Basically, it has the blocks between Lewis and Stuyvesant, between Chauncey Street and McDonough Street, and then it also has an additional few blocks along McDonough between Tompkins and Lewis Avenue. So in all, it's only a few blocks within the Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood that are called Stuyvesant Heights, according to the landmarks. Kind of popular use of the term Stuyvesant Heights. Different real estate agencies and other parties, developers, may use that term to get some cachet, but technically that's may not be Stuyvesant Heights. The only thing that would be within Stuyvesant Heights would be what's within the historic district. So I think sometimes people use the term for marketing purposes in order to try to generate more interest in the property.
So I decided to just market it as Bed-Stuy. I have used Stuyvesant Heights, and that is because it really is in the historic part of Bed-Stuy, Stuyvesant Heights. So I have used that, but for the most part, I just say that it's Bed-Stuy. And I think when people come and they start to take a look at the neighborhood and what they see, the coffee shops, the cafes that are popping up, the art scene, when they start to see that, it sells itself. So I don't have to kind of blur the lines as much, and I don't think people have to blur the lines as much as they did before in the past, because everyone knows that Bed-Stuy is gentrifying and changing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. If you go around to any of the streets, you'll see new people purchasing and moving in. There's new buildings being renovated just as we speak, and new storefronts that are now for rent that are offered that have been renovated. So you can see the changes that are taking place on a daily basis, and know that Bed-Stuy is consistently changing.